Welcome to Suitcase and Chardonnay, the podcast where style meets storytelling and where we blissfully blend travel, fashion, food, wine, and intentional living. I'm Renate Engelbrecht, your host, and this is a space where you can find inspirational lifestyle tips, explore beautiful local and international destinations, and share slow, luxury moments and the little details that make life feel richer. In this second season, we are leaning even deeper into life's unique experiences. From boutique hotels and family weekend escapes, to thoughtful food and fashion, soulful conversations about wine, creativity and conservation, and the art of slowing down without losing your sense of adventure. Whether you're listening on a morning walk, planning your next getaway, or simply craving a moment of inspiration, you're in exactly the right place. If you love lifestyle podcasts that celebrate travel, fashion, food, and wine, go ahead and follow or subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. And if something resonates, save it, share it, and let it travel further than we ever could alone. Now, if you're ready, let's go. In today's episode, we're escaping to the quietly powerful beauty of the Overberg wine region, where cool climate elegance meets thoughtful winemaking. I'm joined by winemaker and viticulturist Geyer of Thamnus Wines, and together we explore the delicate artistry behind South African Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, two varietals that truly reward those who take the time to taste, feel, and experience. This episode is the final episode under the theme Good Things Take Time, an invitation to discover the depth, nuance, and emotion behind what's in your glass. If you're passionate about wine travel, boutique wineries, slow living, and discovering hidden gems in South Africa, you're in the right place. When I heard that the winemaker of Thamnus, is it Thamnus or Thamnus?
Thamnus.
Thamnus. Thamnus Wines is in town. I could not resist. Pierre, thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure.
I'm very excited to talk to you about a lot of things, but mainly wine. Can you maybe, just for the listeners who do not know the brand, just tell them a little bit about the brand, where exactly you are based and where you produce the wines?
Yeah, Thamnus, the name originated from a mountain rose, which is a shy rose. It only grows about in a few spots in South Africa, especially on a marshland. There's not many marshlands on a mountain, and it grows 1/3 up in a mountain. So there's no marshland, there's no mountain rose. So on our farm, the Thamnus Zaire is growing. There's a botanical name, which is a shy rose. And we chose the name Thamnus because if it respects our terroir, we will respect it. And it took us quite a couple of years to get the name. But anyway, the owner's wife designed the label. She's a professional painter, artist. And she designed the label, and I think it stands out. It's a beautiful label.
It's really beautiful, yes.
It's just outside of Hemelade, which is part of Overberg. We have the same climate, same soils, everything. But in all honesty, I like our mysteriousness. We're not part of anything. We're on our own, 7 kilometers up in the mountain, and we've got the vines, the wine, sheep. I've got about 1,200 sheep on the farm, which I farm as well, and grainlands. So it's literally a regenerative farming.
Yes.
I use the sheep in the vineyards for fertilizing, so certain times a year you can't use it when there's grapes. Otherwise, you're going to lose everything.
Yeah.
But certain times of the year, we use the sheep for the manure to fertilize the grapes or the vines.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And how big is the farm that you are? How many vineyards and how does it work?
Okay, the whole farm is about close to 1,500 hectares, but most of that is the sheep farming side.
Okay.
And the vineyards is 5 hectares of Chardonnay, 5 hectares of Pinot Noir. And we're going to plant soon. We will plant 5 each more, but that is it. I mean, too many investors will come to South Africa and they will pump out money at the beginning, and think it's like a chocolate factory. It's unfortunately not. What you make is not always what you will sell. Quality helps, yes, and we'll get that to that later. But keep it small, keep it boutique, and keep it focused.
Yes.
That's why we only produce 2 wines. It helps me to focus exactly for what we have to do, and that's why I appreciate farming the vineyards as well, because I can run from the vineyard straight through to the cellar.
Yes.
And when the grapes arrive in the cellar, I already have an understanding for what it should be.
Yes.
I think what makes our wines are quite special. We've got a north-facing slope. Now, in the southern hemisphere, a north-facing slope is negative because
Okay.
it's warmer, and the southern hemisphere, the northern hemisphere is other way around. But we're in a cool region, so north-facing slope is positive because
Okay.
I have 11 hours sunlight opposed to 7 of the rest of the region. That gives me a faster growing season and a quicker picking. So that keeps my acidity and my sugar levels at a perfect place. So the wine stays crisp, fresh, mineral, and there's a lot of salinity in the wine, which makes the wine zesty. I don't have to add anything. So yeah, that is a very big part of our success. But there is something that I really need to express. A lot of winemakers or viticulturists or influencers will talk about terroir. And there's something about terroir that is extremely important. The French explain, it's like, for instance, you drive a car. Now, you've got a manual. Do you think clutch, gear, petrol? You don't. It's natural.
Yes. Yeah.
When the French explained us terroir, because it's a French word, we all know it's soil, climate, elevation, there's so many things. But there's a simple clutch, push, something they didn't mention to us because it's common knowledge for them.
Yes. Yeah.
It's your human factor. Your human factor in terroir is number one. If the human factor doesn't understand the terroir, you've got nothing. So what I really appreciate about our farm is that we train our people every year. Even if it's the same training every year, it costs us quite a bit of money, but I don't care about the money. It helps us with quality. Is they know exactly what they do. They understand the vines, they understand the soil and why they do this, why they do that. And at this stage, I'm up in Johannesburg. I don't have to be there. I get a phone call or WhatsApp. They will tell me exactly what's going on, and we farm together. So what do you think? What do you think? This is maybe the best method, and we move forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
So very focused.
Yeah. Today's episode comes to you from one of those secret wine bars you almost want to keep to yourself but simply can't. Tucked into the vibey Parktown North neighborhood, Something's tan leather bar stools, soft lighting, and easy flow between indoor and outdoor seating offers the perfect setting for long, unhurried conversations over a beautiful glass of wine. It offers something for every kind of wine moment, whether you're popping in for a casual drink after work, settling in at a table with friends, or hosting something a little more intimate. In this episode, we talk about information dropping from the head to the heart, and here you'll feel it. Here, tasting notes will trickle down from the head to the heart, ensuring that what you taste, with whom you taste it, and how it makes you feel become special memories that last a lifetime. If you find yourself in Parktown North, consider this your invitation to discover a wine bar that is welcoming and effortlessly chic. Follow them on Instagram at something_something.jhb. That's something with a U, SUMTHING. And you sound as if you have had many years of experience with terroir, and I understand you have worked with many big wine farms across the globe.
Yes.
What is your experience?
Okay, to put it this way, when you studied winemaking, I saw a reel the other day, skeleton sitting on a chair saying, I still till today waiting to use algebra. And that's kind of like what I feel about winemaking as well. As you study to get a job. Yes, you have to have a basic understanding, but it's like Van Gogh. Only after his death, his brushstrokes was noticed.
Yes.
And I mean, for me, winemaking is something, it's ability that you need it grows in you. So I always say, my grandfather used to say, you get information. If the information doesn't fall from year to year, there's nothing. And because this handles everything, especially in winemaking. Now, yes, a lot of people think it's this whole artistic job. Yes, it is, but you're dependent on grapes. You're dependent on certain biological things. So my experience was, after studying, I realized for 2 years, I have no clue what I'm doing. The winemaker is talking in the cellar about certain products. I don't even know what he's talking about. Fermentation, there's certain things but not the lingo. It's not there.
Yeah.
So I resigned and immediately applied for a job in America. It was a student program, Experienced International. So they helped me to get a placing in America, in Washington State. I worked there for 9 months, but it's almost like studying. It's literally a studying course. You write the exam and everything. So I worked for them for 9 months, wrote the exam, and then I realized I still need more. So I went over to New Zealand, Villa Maria, quite a famous place. I worked there for 4 months, and obviously came back to South Africa. They wanted me back, and the Americans wanted me to work permanent for them. And obviously, I'm going to go back to America because people make quite a lot of money in America. And parents, they don't want you to leave the country. So my dad saw this article in the newspaper, Ingwer Wine Estate, being a winemaker. Didn't know it was a French company. And I applied, but just to please my dad. I was packing. I'm going back to the US. Anyway, 2 days after I got a phone call, they want to meet me halfway. We met, and 2 days after that, okay, you're going on a plane for your interview in September to France, to Saint-Emilion. Oh, okay, well. Anyway, so that was literally 7-Eleven. That's literally when I flew. My boss was stuck in the US. Anyway, so he arrived a little bit late. But anyway, I started working for them, and it was a grand company. I mean, it's a Moix family. They own part of Chateau Petrus. So they invested me for 9 years, invested in me to gain the knowledge of what they have. And it was phenomenal.
Sure.
I mean, it's things that I remember what they explained to me and how they explained it to me, that literally I'm getting goosebumps. There's one night the alarm closed the doors of the cellar. Obviously being South African, I thought, what's going on? Closed the doors. We sat flat on the floor with a baguette, sausage roll, and a bottle of red wine. And he explained me on the cement floor the graph of wine. And it was amazing. I mean, I will never forget that in my life. And literally, I base all my winemaking, I base on that. Because I remember it, and it made so much sense.
Yes, yeah.
So it's, again, information that fell. So yeah, I worked for them for 9 years, and then I started going on my own. Not my own, but I mean, as a winemaker, not being part of the family anymore. And I ended up here at Thamnus, which is absolutely amazing. I mean, the grapes is superb. The terroir is superb. The people that I work with it's like family.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, we get along. So yeah, it's amazing.
That's wonderful. So on the wines, you do Chardonnay and Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
Okay. And is there a reason why? Is that the main grapes that work well in that area, or is it something that you just love?
Okay, I've been known as a Merlot fanatic, a Merlot king. And now this is where a lot of Pinot Noir winemakers will argue with me, and it's because I've never made a Merlot.
Oh, goodness.
The problem is this: a Merlot is probably the most extreme difficult grape and wine to work with. Now, if you work in a French company, you'll sometimes hear the slang. They will refer to a Merlot as feminine.
Okay.
Now, this is my theory. It's not in the books, but obviously I like theoretical stuff, but obviously, so I feel that a lot of people outside of France heard the feminine side of a Merlot. So it's a lighter wine. Biggest mistake you can make in your life. A woman is not weaker than a man. The problem is with a Merlot is, yes, it's referred to as feminine, because if you go to a man, a friend of mine, and I give him a slap, he's either going to hit me back or he's going to say, okay, let's move on. If you go to any woman and you give her a smack through the face, she will never forgive you. That's a Merlot. A Merlot does
love that.
not forgive you. In the vineyard, one mistake, done. In the cellar, one mistake, done. So that's why Merlot winemakers are rather quiet, because she will bring you to your knees. It's like playing golf. I can't play golf, but anyway, you will lose your respect for yourself quite often.
Yeah.
Now, Pinot Noir is seen as the king of grapes. I always say yes, but there's a queen, and that's Merlot. Now, I had my challenge in my life with Bordeaux varieties, and I started being interested. But in 2014, I saw these grapes for the first time in my cellar. And, it's like you're hungry and you're looking at a Nando's. I saw these grapes and I was drooling. I said to myself, I really wish I could make wine from this someday. And in 2020, they needed a winemaker for the first time. They never had one before, so they needed a winemaker. The farm was developed by a developer, always to sell, and it didn't skimp. We spend money, you spend good money, and on the good things. Like for instance, I've got a weather station. I've got nice equipment. So, everything is superb.
Yes, yeah.
So when this opened up, I had no choice. I had to run from my current job, and I had to make this wine. So I put pressure on myself for the interview, and because you should not be relaxed in the interview. You should have pressure, because then you're going to sell yourself.
Yes.
And that's what I did. And yes, I'm there now for 6 years, and I think I'm very interested now in Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, extremely, because, sorry, I'm talking a lot.
No, it's wonderful.
Chardonnay is a misunderstood grape, because you'll probably find if you do a wine show, you'll get people walking past you. What do you have? You'll say Chardonnay. Oh no, I don't drink Chardonnay. I love it, because I challenge them. Okay, be honest with me. You taste the Chardonnay. If you don't like it, I'll give you a case. If you do like it, be honest. I've not had one person taking a case away from me. I'm trying to bring the old world back, where it's fresh and crisp and not over-oaked. It's light oaked, and the oak I use is toasted, so it's water toasted. So it penetrates deeper and respects the fruit of the wine. So it doesn't overwhelm the wine.
Yes.
So it's not on top. It's almost what I always say, a husband is like the stem of the flower to make the woman beautiful for the world. And the barrel should be the same. It should be the stem to make the shower.
Yes.
It should not be on top.
If you're a lifestyle, travel, fashion, food, or wine brand looking for a multi-purpose platform to collaborate with in telling your brand's story, please reach out to hello@suitcaseandchardonnay.co.za. Suitcase and Chardonnay is a blog, podcast, and social media company, and under the same brand, I am also a freelance writer who writes numerous articles for various publications. I would love to work with you in telling your brand's story, so feel free to reach out and let's share your story together. And the Pinot Noir, can you tell me a little bit more about that?
The Pinot Noir, I had a theory. I remember before I started with this job, the Monday I started, that was the 1st of February. The Friday I bought myself 10 of the top Pinot Noirs. And, my first stint was, the owner told me you cannot judge a wine if you haven't finished a bottle. And I agree with that, because, sitting in a wine tasting, having one sip, I give it 9 out of 10. Your mood, everything depends on so many things. So what I did is I packed the wines out on the table. My wife is one drinker as well, so it's not only myself, but I said to myself, Sunday evening, these wines will be finished, and I will have a judgment, and then I will think or feel for what I'm going to do, or what I believe in with these wines. And Friday afternoon, my wife says, why do you have this frown? Now, I'm a bit obsessive person, so now what does she know that I don't know, that I have a frown? And I'm getting, but now that bothers me. Now I'm asking her the whole time, but why do you think I have a frown? I don't know. But she's not tasting. She's stepping away and walking, in the house with the kids and stuff. And I'm really okay. Anyway, Saturday morning comes, we taste again, and I can feel the frown. Now I'm obsessive again. By Saturday evening, I'm a bit agitated now. But anyway, I didn't say anything to her. Sunday morning, I snapped. It just clicked. She made a Sunday roast, a lamb roast. And as I'm smelling it and I'm tasting it, 11 o'clock is the best time to taste because your taste buds starts to wake up for lunch.
Okay.
That's what I learned from the French. Anyway, so as I smelled the wine, I put it in my mouth. I smelled the roast and I realized I can't have a lamb chop with one of these wines. These wines are too light. I want to have a lamb chop with my wine. So that is why I started, kind of like against the stream. There's no whole bunch. There is no light, extractions. I kind of literally brought my Bordeaux background, brought it into the Pinot Noir to have a heavier extraction, a wine with broader shoulders, and it can handle a piece of meat. I'm from Free State. I need meat. And if I can't have meat with my own red wine, then it's not a red wine.
Yeah.
So,
See, now I understand, because you're talking about the information that needs to drop to the heart, and you're from the Free State, and I am too. And we understand.
Yeah.
The Free State people understand heart.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's amazing. You can spot a Free Stater from a mile away.
You can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
No, that's wonderful. Okay, so it's a wine with broad shoulders then.
Yeah. There's a bit more oomph in the wine and longevity.
Yes. That's amazing. So if you talk about longevity, how long can these wines be kept?
It's always an extremely difficult question for a winemaker. I'd rather like to be honest with somebody than to suck something out of my thumb. I have to, of my past experience of my previous wines. Now, working for the French, your wine styles are very longevity. My peak on my white wines, it was even a clean, no barrel Chenin Blanc, was 5 years. We peaked only. Where usually it's a year or two. So in my past experience, my red wines will keep for a very long time. Like for instance, my 2006 Ingwe wine is still extremely drinkable and beautiful. It's still very fresh, red color. So yes, but I've been part of this farm for 6 years. I can tell you what the 6 years ago wine is tasting like now. It's beautiful. 5 years, 4 years, 3 years. So it's beautiful. But just to give you an answer, 15 years and let's say 10, it will not do the clients the justice or you justice because I don't know. I have to live it.
Yes.
And then I will know.
Yeah. So at least 6 years then.
At least, yeah. But at the rate, definitely, I feel at least 12 it's going to peak. Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
And we spoke about the lamb chop now, but what else would you pair these wines with?
Well, I'm in Joburg now, so I only think about meat when I'm here. So steak, lamb chop. But you know what? There is this myth that people will think, or consumers will think, white wine, white meat, red wine, red meat. Absolute nonsense. If you give me a steak with a creamy sauce, white wine.
Okay.
And if you give me a fish with a spicy sauce, red wine.
Yes.
So it depends on the spice and what you use. I've tried this now. We've been challenging this wine. We are 3 in the office of this company, and all 3 we love food. Let's put it this way: I can braai. I'm not a really good chef in the kitchen. I don't have the patience for it. But my wife is an excellent cook. We've tasted this wine and challenged it from curry to ice creams to cheeses, and we've never beaten it. The Chardonnay. And with the Pinot, unfortunately, I can't eat anything else than a steak and lamb chop with that. So I've not played with that. I just love my steak and my lamb chop.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it. And I think in terms of passion and heart, I can feel that is what goes into these wines.
Yes. Yeah.
What would you say? People coming to the area where you guys are based, what do they need to understand of the heart of that area?
Okay. The heart of the area it's a cool region. It's really to understand. It's a cool region. You've got a very nice maritime climate. And, in honesty, if you do a tasting with me, you'll never hear I talk about the birds and the bees and the nonsense like you have to taste this, taste that, whatever, because that's absolute nonsense. The reason I'm saying this is that if you tell a UK person, I pick up hints of guava on that, they wouldn't even know what you're talking about because they don't have any guava.
Yeah, that's true.
So tasting is extremely personal. what you have to understand, if you go to a cooler region, not a lighter wine, but it might be more zesty, a bit more salinity in it, and a bit more focused. In a warmer region, you'll have a bit more open, broader type of wine. Now, that doesn't tell you the heaviness. It depends on picking.
Yes.
But if if you're a Cabernet drinker and you come from the Free State and you don't know anything about wine, then don't go to the Geyer Valley, because you're not going to fit in there. You have to understand wine, cold regions, warm regions, lighter styles, heavier styles in the same varieties, and understand that, and then you will appreciate them tremendously. I mean, from the top of the valley to the bottom of the valley, there is almost 100 changes. Like, for instance, we're right at the end, the beginning of the valley, it will rain 100 miles there, and I will walk around with short sleeves on the farm.
Yeah.
And the other way around as well.
Yes,
So
yeah.
it's completely different. And yours, I think it's a really beautiful valley to understand each farm you go to rather focus not on the varieties, but focus on the terroir. Where you are, elevation, if you're in a valley, where you are right now, and taste the wine according to that. And
Yes, yeah.
I think that will be a beautiful learning curve, just that little stretch.
Yeah, yeah. I ate at a restaurant the other day, and the sommelier described the wines with a lot of nature
Yeah.
in her descriptions. And I think that's so beautiful, because that is what makes the wine
Yes.
in the end.
Yes.
And if you can maybe just give me a description for each of your wines when it comes to nature, what would you say?
Yeah, okay, let's start with the Chardonnay. Let me think quickly. There's just so many things jumping up my mind. But, obviously using the sheep, I think there's some jokes, maybe you're going to cut this out. I always tell people that, we use a sheep in here, so this is some good shit. But anyway, with the Chardonnay is again, starting bringing the terroir together, and with your human factor. And kind of like, there's not a lot of variables, but the ocean, the salinity, the saltiness, that is what I get from the maritime climate that we have, and our elevation quite high. And then the Pinot Noir, there is a bit more, because we are 3 degrees colder than the Himalaya and 3 degrees warmer than the Himalaya. So we literally both ways. So I have a bit of a thicker skin because of the sun, and that gives me that I can extract more tannin than the rest. So because the grapes will adjust itself according to the sun. If you're in a very windy area, people will adjust their, farmers will adjust their pruning afraid of the wind. The grape will do it itself. The grape will protect itself against sun. Like, for instance, if you lose a lot of your leaves, immediately your skin gets thicker.
Sure, that's
So
incredible.
that is how nature works, and that's why I can do more extraction on the
Yeah.
Pinot Noir, because I have bit more tannin in the skin.
Yeah, yeah. Incredible. Thank you so much.
And
It's
baboons.
so interesting. Baboons.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a problem with
I think all of us have problems with baboons, and you can't do really much about it. The previous farmer had an electric fence around and when I started there, I just did a round trip to see, okay, but what does this electric fence work? I didn't switch it on. And I heard the baboons coming from the mountains, so I drove around the fence, and I saw this troop of baboons, and I saw the male taking a baby just to test the fence. He threw it against the fence. And then I said, no, I'm sorry. I cut it off, there's no chance. But then what happened is, in Full Clip, there used to be guards protecting Full Clip from baboons, and
Yes.
right behind Full Clip.
Okay.
Now their contract is not renewed, so all my baboons is there.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm going to throw bananas there every year. So, but yeah, baboons can be a problem. But you know what? Sometimes you have to give nature what nature deserves. I mean,
Yes.
don't always fight them.
Yeah.
Do it.
No, that's true. That's true. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
And I hope you enjoy your time in
Oh,
Overberg.
thank you. I will. Yeah, I'm going to have a steak today. I can promise you.
Thank you so much for spending some time with me on Suitcase and Chardonnay. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd love for you to follow the podcast or subscribe on your favorite platform. It truly helps the show grow and helps others to discover it too. You can find more stories, travel tips and reviews, style inspiration and curated recommendations over on the blog at Suitcase and Chardonnay, where each episode often lives on in written form, with links, visuals and deeper details. For daily fashion inspo, behind-the-scenes moments and slow-living storytelling, come and say hi on Instagram, Facebook or Pinterest. Just search for Suitcase and Chardonnay. And if this episode sparked something for you, don't forget to save it or share it with someone who loves travel, fashion, food and wine as much as you do. Until next time, keep chasing beauty, spotting the little things, traveling with intention and finding joy in everyday things.